we've come to another lesson in our front office curriculum. Today's lesson is about office equipment within our office environment unit. So make sure you have your learning log open and let's get started. Your warm-up activity. I'd like to know what types of communication equipment are used in the front office. We learned about this back in September when we learned about communication. And so I want you to think back to that unit and go ahead and give me some predictions. Our objectives for today, we're going to define terminology. We're going to differentiate between the types of office equipment. We're going to list maintenance techniques and practice principles of inventory and purchasing. We also are going to list troubleshooting techniques. So, types of equipment. So we kind of have four categories we can fit office equipment into or facility equipment into. So we have communication equipment, we have clerical equipment, billing equipment, and clinical equipment. So I want you to predict one example of each type on your learning log. So clerical equipment is any equipment that includes equipment that is used by front office staff to complete things like filing, scheduling, record keeping, and organization. So it could be a calendar, it could be a filing cabinet, it could be a computer program, any sort of, anything that can provide these tasks for us. Billing equipment is equipment used for requesting, collecting, or keeping money safe. This includes a cash box, which is a locked box that holds petty cash used to give patients change. We'll talk more about cash box when we get to our billing accounting unit later this year. A card reader, this is a device used to charge a patient's credit card or debit card. A connection to the internet or a separate phone line is usually required for use. Check stamp. A check stamp is a ink stamp that is used to create a mark on the back of a collected check to designate your company's account for deposit only. You need that device in order to deposit any checks you receive. Billing software, so any programs on your computer that are used to keep track of your patient charges and your incoming payments, what you owe, those types of things. Clinical equipment is any device used in the back office, typically. So these types of equipment can be used for many purposes, things like documenting patient visits. So it could be a computer program that you go into to document exercises. It could be a place where therapists make notes of their patient progress. It could be a number of different things. Administering modalities, so it could be an ultrasound machine, an e-stim machine, things like that. And then other examples are anything we use for checking vitals, so blood pressure cuff, stethoscope, other things like that. Inventory. So an inventory is a list of all the supplies and equipment that are present in the office and their condition. So this isn't everything that you currently have and the condition that it's in. Is it broken? Is it in use? Is it being stored? All of that information is stored on the inventory. While working in the front and back office, you may be responsible for creating and maintaining inventory lists. Inventory lists are used to document damage or broken equipment for accurate ordering purposes. So you're doing an ambulation activity with a patient, you check your equipment, and you notice that the end cap on a cane is damaged. This is where you would document that. So you would put the cane aside so that no one else tries to use it, and then you would make note of that it's damaged in your inventory list. Supply items. Items needed for day-to-day office duties could include, but it just really depends on the facility you work in, copy paper. Copy paper is sold in groups called reams. So if your manager says to you, hey, we need to order a few more reams, that would clue to you that you need to put paper reams on your supply list that we're going to talk about in a moment. Writing utensils, highlighters, markers, scissors, really just depends on personal preference, but these are all things that you may need depending on how your office runs and your processes. Sample inventory list. So on your learning log, I want you to create a sample inventory list. I want you to come up with 6 items of supplies or equipment and give me a fictional quantity about how many your office has. Budget. A budget is a list of planned costs over a set amount of time. Do you use a budget to keep track of your money? Being able to spend within a budget is a valuable skill that can help you in a variety of jobs. So this could be something that you could list on a cover letter or resume that as part of your job as a technician, you kept an inventory, a budget, worked within a budget, and created order lists. Ordering. While working in a front office or back office, you may be tasked at creating an order list while staying within a budget. Here are the steps for ordering. So you want to compare prices, consult the budget. So if you only have $50, but you actually need $100 worth of items, then that's something you need to request for more money before you submit that order. Prepare your purchase order, place the order, receive and review the order, store the supplies, and issue payment to the supply vendor. So as a technician, you could be the person responsible for all of these things, just one of the many duties that you may have in a physical therapy facility. So when you compare prices, your facility may have a specific vendor that they use for their supply needs. So you may be like, oh, I really like this store, but you may be like, well, we should use Amazon, but your facility has a contract with Staples. You can't just order from wherever you have preference. You have to work within the rules of your facility. So if you don't have a specific vendor, it is your job to ensure that you're getting the highest quality product for the lowest amount of money. And you have to be really detail-oriented when you're looking at this. You want to make sure that you are getting a good price for the right item, right? It's really easy to order, Post-its and they come and they're this big. And that's not going to work. That's not going to give you the function that you're looking for. So you always want to make sure to double check and know that you're confident in that you're ordering the correct supplies for the best deal. So I want you to prepare a sample purchase order on your learning log. So it's a document prepared by the buyer detailing the vendor, the items they wish to purchase. So this is how you're actually going to order what you're looking for. Most purchase orders include the following information: the date that it's ordered, shipping and billing address, vendor contact information, authorizing signature, name of the item, description and model number, color and size, units, so how many do you need, quantity of units, right? If they're unit, the difference between unit and quantity. So unit could be, is there 1 in a pack or is there 10 in a pack? And that's very important to pay close attention to, because if you're ordering, let's say E-stem pads, and there are 50 in a pack, and you're like, well, we need 100. You would order 2 units instead of ordering 50 units of 50, right? So you have to pay really close attention to that to make sure that you're not receiving way too many or way too little for your needs. How much each item is priced individually, and then the total item, tax and shipping costs, and then add all of that together to give you your total price. So with that in mind, you are going to be creating a practice purchase order. Your boss tells you that you have $200 this month to spend on your supply budget. On your learning log, I've given you 2 websites to use to find prices and names and items. So based on your inventory list, I want you to create a purchase order form on your learning log. All right, retrieve and review the order. So once your order is delivered, you want to use the packing slip, which is a document included in the order, to itemize and look at what's in there. So you're going to review what you ordered with what came, and you are going to match up to make sure that everything that was delivered is exactly what you ordered. There's nothing missing, there's nothing extra. You want to make sure all of that is true. All right, we've made it to our cooldown for today's lesson. On your learning log, I'd like you to create 2 multiple choice questions, like a 4-answer test question, based on the information you learned in this lesson. I want you to highlight the correct answer. Go ahead and complete that, and I'll see you back for next time.